जय श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह प्रहलाद महाराज की।
लक्ष्मण नरसिंह भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय। मैं इसको पढ़ने में थोड़ा दिक्कत आई मेरे को, मैं इनको नहीं लेके आया। चलो मैं ही कह देता हूँ। चलो चलो।
श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय नरसिंह। प्रहलादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंग। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय नरसिंह। प्रहलादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंग। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय नरसिंह। प्रहलादेश जय पद्म मुख पद्म भृंग।
नाम तव कर कमल भरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगार। दालिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा। केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा। जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। हरे जगदीश हरे। तब कर कमल भरे नखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार। दालिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनु भृंगा। केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा। जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। तब कर कमल भरे नखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार। दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवद्वीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Lakshmi Narsinga Jaya Lakshmi Narsinga Jaya Lakshmi Narsinga Jaya Lakshmi Narsinga Jaya. Jaya Prahlad Mhara Jaya Prahlad Mhara Prahlad Mhara Jaya Prahlad Mhara. लक्ष्मण नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
हरे कृष्णा। एक मोबाइल मिला है, अपनी पहचान बता के साधु हृदय प्रभु से ले सकते हैं। पहचान बता के।
Jaya Radha ParthSarthi, Radha ParthSarthi Radhe. Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Mahamantra, no Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. On behalf of ISKCON Delhi, we would like to welcome His Grace Prabhu, Vishnu Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Bando Mui Savodan Padmana Mate Bando Mui Sabadana Mate Jahara Prasade Bhai He Bhavatoriya Jai Jahara Prasade Bhai He Bhavatoriya Jai Krishna Prapti Poi Jaha Poite Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriyo Ekya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriyo Ekya Arna Koriyo Mane Asha Arana Kariyo Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Irati Aise Uttama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakudan Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu se Chakudan Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu se Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate Prema Bhakti Jahaite Avidya Vinasha Jate Vedigai Jahara-charito Vedigai Jahara-charito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Ajam Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Ajam Janara Bandhu Lokanath Lokera Jivana Srila Prabhupada Lokera Jivana Haha Prabhu Koradoya Dehamore Padachaya Haha Prabhu Koradoya Dehamore Padachaya Ebijas Gustuk Tribhuvana Ebijas Gustuk Tribhuvana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschachari Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, ParthSarthi Radha, ParthSarthi Radha. Jaya Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha, Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha, Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha, Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha. Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvrajagacharya Astatara Sadashi Srimad Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasti Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Govina Shamakunda Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Shri Shri Radha ParthSarthi Ki Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Shri Shri Gauranitai Ki Shri Shri Prahlad Narasimha Dev Ki Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guru.
हरे कृष्ण। सभी लोग साथ में पढ़ेंगे। हमारे गुरुदेव के चरण कमल ही एकमात्र साधन है जिनके द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। मैं उनके चरण कमलों में अत्यंत भक्ति एवं श्रद्धापूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ। उनकी कृपा से जीव भौतिक कलेशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है तथा कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है। मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि उनके मुख कमल से निकले हुए शब्दों द्वारा अपनी चेतना को शुद्ध करूं। उनके चरण कमलों में अनुराग ऐसी सिद्धि है जो समस्त मनोरथों को पूर्ण करती है। वे मेरी बंद आँखों को खोलते हैं तथा मेरे हृदय में दिव्य ज्ञान भरते हैं। जन्म जन्मांतरों में वे मेरे प्रभु हैं। वे प्रेमा भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और अविद्या का नाश करते हैं। वैदिक शास्त्र उनके चरित्र का गान करते हैं। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, करुणा सिंधु तथा पतित आत्माओं के मित्र, आप सबके गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन हैं। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, मुझ पर दया कीजिए तथा मुझे अपने श्री चरणों की छाया प्रदान कीजिए। आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला हुआ है। जगत गुरु श्री लीला प्रभुपाद की।
Hare Krishna. Today we will be speaking on the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. It's good to have my godbrother Prabhu Vishnu here, and it's good to have all of you here, and it's such a wonderful addition to have Lakshmi Nrsimha. So again, it's not the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, but it all comes to the same purpose. So we will sing a mantra to Chaitanya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvacakacharya Austatara Satta Sri Sriman His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvacakacharya Austatara Satta Sri Sriman His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Ki. Ananta Gaudi Vaishnavinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Premchikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki. Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsimha Ki. Gaurnitai ki, Shri Shri Radha ParthSarthi ki, Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Sita ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. By the mercy of Chaitanya and Nityananda, I am asking for special mercy from them to help us understand this verse today. Give me a second here. My meter in my singing is not so good, but we will try. This is text 24 of the 5th chapter of the Madhya Lila. Brahmana Sevaya Krishna Priti Padahaya Tanhara Santoshe Bhakti Sampad Padaya Brahmana Sevaya Krishna Priti Padahaya Tanhara Santoshe Bhakti Sampad Padaya Brahmana Sevaya Krishna Priti Padahaya Tanhara Santoshe Bhakti Sampad Padaya. Repeat. Brahmana Sevaya Krishna Priti Badahaya Brahmana Sevaya. Is it filtered water? Filtered. You get me bottle? Matajis, ladies. Brahmana Sevaya Krishna Priti Badahaya Tanhara Daya Brahmana Sevaya. Okay, so we'll go Brahmana Sevaya, by rendering service to a Brahmana. Krishnera, of Lord Krishna. Priti, the satisfaction. Bada, very great. Haya, is. Tanhara Santoshe, by pleasing the Lord. Bhakti, of devotional service. Sampad, the opulence. Badaya, increases. Translation: Lord Krishna is very much pleased by service rendered to Brahmanas, and when the Lord is pleased, the opulence of one's devotional service increases. We better read that together to put that in, especially whenever we hear Lord Krishna is very much pleased, then we need to listen up to what is after that, don't we? So repeat after me. Lord Krishna is very much pleased by service rendered to Brahmanas. When the Lord is pleased, the opulence of one's devotional service increases. That's good news, isn't it? All right. purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that the younger Brahmana rendered service to the older one with the purpose of pleasing Krishna. It is not a matter of ordinary worldly dealings. Krishna is pleased when a Vaishnava is rendered service, because the younger Brahmana served the older one. Lord Gopal agreed to become a witness of the marriage negotiation in order to maintain the prestige of both devotees. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would certainly not have liked to hear about marital dealings unless such dealings were exchanged between two Vaishnavas. Marriage agreements and ceremonies belong to ordinary material karma-kanda sections of the scriptures. The Vaishnavas, however, are not interested in any kind of karma-kanda dealings. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, karma-kanda jnana-kanda kevala vishtera bandha. For a Vaishnava, the karma-kanda and jnana-kanda sections of the Vedas are unnecessary. Indeed, a real Vaishnava takes these sections as a poison pot. Sometimes we take part in a marriage ceremony for our devotees, but this does not mean that we are interested in karma-kanda activities. Sometimes, not knowing the Vaishnava philosophy, an outsider criticizes such activity, maintaining that a sannyasi should not take part in a marriage ceremony between a young boy and a young girl. However, this is not a karma-kanda activity because, listen up to this, our purpose is to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. We are giving all facility to the general populace to take to Krishna consciousness. And in order to fix the devotees in concentration on service of the Lord, marriage is sometimes allowed. We have experienced that such married couples actually render very important service to the mission. Therefore, one should not misunderstand when the sannyasi takes part in a marriage ceremony. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu took great pleasure in hearing about the marriage ceremony between the young Brahmana and the daughter of the elderly Brahmana. This gives us such impetus. It starts out with Lord Krishna is very pleased. I try to concentrate on this story is that Lord Chaitanya got to Cuttack and where the Shakshi Gopal is. And Lord Nityananda was there, and Lord Nityananda is telling him this story about how the deity of Gopal came to witness. Of course, you've all been following this, right? So we will concentrate more on this verse at hand of Krishna being pleased. We see Prabhupada as a realized devotee, but we see from the beginning here that he is, as Krishna mentions in text 34 of the 4th chapter, Tat vidi panipratena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam kinani vas tattvadarshanaha, that one should approach the self-realized spiritual master, inquire submissively, and render service to him. This self-realized master can impart knowledge to you because he has actually seen the truth. So Prabhupada is not only that, but he follows the principle of evam parampara praptam imam. You see here he is quoting from the purports of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. In Mumbai in 1971, I used to go into Prabhupada's room at lunchtime, and he had the commentaries on Bhagavatam by Bhaktisiddhanta, and I would put those away in a shelf. He had the commentaries by Jiva Goswami, and he had the commentaries by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Sridhar Swami. So even though he is a realized Tattvarshana, he collects from these different commentaries, particularly of those 4 acharyas, and puts the books. So I would put these away, then I would get Prabhupada his lunch, and then I would go out, then I would come back and they would give him the big Maha plate. And there was so much left over, so I would clean that off, and what was left over, that was my lunch for a couple of months. So I was happy to clean up the remnants that were there. So in this verse, we will comment on some of the things. The idea is explaining here how the younger Brahmana rendered service to the old one. So when one devotee is serving another, we'll give you a multiple choice question. A, are they serving that devotee? B, are they serving Krishna? C, are they doing something that makes them happy? Or D, is it all of the above? Which is it? All of the above. You get to do something that makes you happy. You serve the devotees, and you're serving Krishna. So what could be better than this? So many people have miserable jobs, and they are unhappy with it, and they make almost enough to support themselves. So sometimes they have to work, the amount of work goes up, and the amount of pay goes down, and expenses go up. The material world is like this. You're chewing the chewed, there's less juice. But in this service to the Vaishnava, we find that is Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, an ever-increasing ocean of transcendental bliss, rather than trying to get that last drop out of that dry sugar cane. Where's that drop? People are looking so hard for that little drop that wasn't much in the beginning, and then it's gone. In America, they used to chew the gum, it was gone, they put it under their desk and then chew it the next day. With all the disease we have, don't try that. It's not a good idea. We don't eat things that have been laying around. We don't eat things that others may have had because of diseases. So we find that the service to the Vaishnavas is service to Krishna. And we find this here, that Prabhupada is talking about how this is not the karma kanda dealings. We engage in the marital activities to increase people's devotion. We see that places like Laguna Beach, Tukaram, the temple presidents, put together many good couples who have stayed together and stayed in devotional service. So the main thing being mentioned here, that Prabhupada says in this purport, our purpose is to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. So that should be the parameters of the barometer we're looking. Is what we're doing going to spread the Krishna consciousness movement, or is it going to inhibit it? That is the parameters of thinking. And it says we are giving all facility to the general populace to take to Krishna consciousness. This is our mission. We are trying to spread it, so we have to give the facility. We may have one of the best books around, but if somebody hasn't received that book, they say the problem with Prabhupada's books is people that don't read them don't find out what's in them. So we find that they have to be distributed to people, and people have to be willing to take them. One day, Vaisheshika was distributing books in Vrindavan, and I said, all these people sure seem to love you. He says, that's because I love them. So people can tell when you care about them, when you show them that you're trying to engage them in something for their own good, when you're giving them a book, not because you're forcing things on people, but you're sharing something that has worked really well for you with them. People pick up on this and they understand the difference. It's all back to the purpose of spreading Krishna consciousness. That is the whole point that we are getting at here. And to help the devotees, to create a facility for devotees when they are there. We are planting the seeds of devotional service. This is by creating the facility. You know, you go to some churches like in America, and some of them will look at you funny, what are you doing here? And you go to other churches, they talk to you for 5 minutes outside here, And then they say, now you want to join this church or temple? I say, but can I see a service or read a book? No, you just, if they say that, who do they want you to have faith in? They want you to have faith in them. If I talk to you for 5 minutes and want you to invest money or join a religion, I want you to have faith in me, don't I? But how much faith can you develop for me in 5 minutes? Prabhupada says we don't deal that way. We go in like a needle and out like a plow. We ask people, come and watch what we do and see how you like it for yourself. Don't try to force them to accept it before they know what it is that they're accepting. They should be able to understand what it is. And that's why the literatures are such an important part of this. And these seeds of devotion will affect people in their life. I know this because I'm speculating that I experienced this in my own life. When I was a young boy in Laguna Beach, yes, I was young once. I'm not lying. Not recently maybe, but I was young. And the first thing that happened was we went to this music festival in 1967, and many bands had played, and the group called Brotherhood of Love had the Mystic Arts booth, and they had health foods and juices and all vegetarian things they were selling there. And at the end, they were singing this song. And I said, what song that you guys are singing? And they said, well, there's a temple in Los Angeles. Not the one on Watsika is one now. Before that, I went to the La Cienega Temple in 1970. But this was before that. It was a storefront on Pico. I never went to it. But these people had been there. And I said, what is this song? Well, there's a Swami named A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we learned this mantra from him. And it's a song to God, names of God. So I sang that with them. And said, when we take a step to Krishna, then Krishna takes 10 to us. And sometimes people have to help us with the step. Like we have Rath Yatra, they see the deities. They get the book, they get the prasadam, they hear the chanting. So a few days after that, a friend of mine was shooting at animals in the canyon behind Laguna Beach. And he squished a dove with a rock. The dove isn't a kabutar. I think it's called a dora. They're always together. Is it a dora? The dora. It's not a kabutar. There's different kinds of pakshis. They're not all kabutars. So the dora, they always stay together. So if you kill one, the other is looking for its mate. So my friend killed it. I said, that's a cruel thing to do. He said, you eat meat, don't you? I said, yes. He said, how many animals do they have to kill for you to eat meat? I said, probably a lot. He said, does it make me any worse to kill one more bird than for you to eat all those animals? I says, you're right. He said, so it's okay for me to kill the bird? I said, no, it's not right to eat meat. I'll never eat it again, and I didn't. And this was in like October of 1967. So I found many of my other friends were vegetarians. And the next step was the Mystic Arts had the bookstore. They had a bookstore and a health food store and a clothing store and an import store. And my friends would work in the bookstore. They'd ask me to watch it for 10 minutes. It's like people here who say, just now coming, 10 minutes. The 10 minutes was more like half hour, 40 minutes. So I found this book called Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And it said that bhakti means we just ask God for some way to serve him. You know, we find these books tell people how to make steps towards Krishna. It's not like a theory, it's a practice. And so I had my special meditation rock, and I would go down to this rock, and I would pray for some way to develop love of God. So finally on January 5th, 1970, also my friends from there had heard from the devotees that for spiritual life, we have to give up illicit sex and intoxication. It's kind of like the Catholic Saint Augustine said, God, please they had the that I then either I dare it isn't. If I should now, it's like if I figure gold, you don't say, oh, maybe you take it when the opportunity is there. So when there, then take this opportunity. So, God, I'll give up these things, send me some way to develop a month, a year. As Prabhupada says, was walking toward me. And I thought, and he stopped here at the beach. He said, well, we are up the next hill, compulsion to the beach. He said, like to come with us? I said, I think that's exactly what I'm supposed to do. So if we take a step to Krishna, he takes 10 to us. But for a high school boy in the time of parties and free love, to give up those things was more than just one step. But Krishna responded quickly. You know, if I don't call you, you can't answer my call. Krishna waits for us patiently, like the two birds. We're the eating bird and he's watching, just waiting for us. So when we turn towards him, he does. So our whole purpose in facilitating Krishna consciousness is to give people these opportunities through books, through prasadam, through chanting, and through our own caring. Because a good temple has people at all stages. We have brahmacharis who've dedicated their life, householders who come every day, some people who come a week, some who just come once a week, and some who come as guests just to check it out. You have varying degrees. If you just have brahmacharis and guests and no congregation of people, a lot of things are missing because we move people along at the level that they can go at. Not because we are forcing them, but because we care about them and want them to make advancement. And that's what Prabhupada said in here, that this is our purpose, is to help the devotees. Because we find that when we are helped by devotees, then it encourages us to want to continue in devotional service. And where did we learn this? Where did we learn about this caring from devotees in our own personal lives as Prabhupada disciples? We learned it from Srila Prabhupada. I found that out in Mumbai. I was here during the war, and people who weren't born in 71 said, what war? I said, if you were there when they were dropping bombs, you would have remembered it. There's something about being close when bombs are dropped that you don't forget it. You remember it. So I'm doing the aarti. This temple in Mumbai was before Juhu, was the Akash Ganga. And I'm offering the aarti. Jayo, Jaya, Gora, Chande, boom! Because I see out the window the Pakistani planes that come, and they were dropping the bombs right close to where we were. And the Indian air was shooting the tracer bullets. Every seventh bullet is a tracer, so you can see if it's going towards the planes. And I'm doing the aarti during a bomb attack. And the next day I went into Srila Prabhupada's room, because after doing the aarti, I used to give Prabhupada the flower and I'd put water on Prabhupada's head. And I did that and I started to leave. And Tamal Krishna Swami and Yadubara and Vishaka were in the room. And Prabhupada stopped them. He said, just a minute. And he looked up at me. I could still see his eyes looking into mine. He said, so everything is all right? And just like that, the anxiety was gone. Because I thought, like, we're being bombed here. I need to get out of here. Just like that, I felt okay. And somehow or other, my mother got a phone call through from America, which it wasn't like now you didn't just dial numbers. It took a couple days. And she said, are you safe there? I said, yes, I'm safe here with Prabhupada. And so Prabhupada cared enough that even though he's managing a whole movement, that he cared enough to see that I was okay. And by his caring, instantly, I felt better. So we need to carry on this practice to others. And they did that. When I was with, I joke with the Rishi Kumar here, because I went to South Africa with the Rishi Kumar Swami, and I woke up one day and there was a note, Dear Shuti, decided to split. And I'm thinking, when Rupa Goswami says we confidentially reveal our mind, it means more than just I left, doesn't it? You'd think if two of you were in a country far away from any devotees or neighbors, that the other person would tell you. So he took the $2,000 with him, though, so I wrote to Prabhupada exactly what happened. And I got the letter back from Prabhupada. I had to make all these decisions, like order more books and make incense, because there was no one to ask it. When the letter came back, I thought maybe I'm in trouble for making so many decisions. But when I opened the letter, and it started with, I am very much pleased at the responsibility you've taken to spread Krishna consciousness in South Africa. I was 19, but I looked about 13. I would knock on doors to sell books, and people would look up the street. I said, "What are you looking for?" They said, "Well, your parents are here, aren't they?" I said, "They're coming to get you?" I said, "No." They couldn't believe that I didn't come with my parents. So Prabhupada asked Brahmananda to come from Nairobi, which was probably 3,000 kilometers away. And he kept writing me letters from the different cities in Africa. But at the border, they turned him back. But he was going to drive that whole distance with other devotees to come help me out, but they turned him back. So then Prabhupada asked a devotee named Durdarshan. The Durdarshan means hard to see or hard to find. And I thought, well, this name, he could disappear easily, and he disappeared too. So then Prabhupada asked Pushta Krishna Swami to come. And Pushta Krishna came. I called him up and said, "You got to get here tomorrow because they're throwing me out." And he showed up the next day. But to see that Prabhupada even managing a whole movement, he was very concerned that I was there alone. And he was asking people to come and help. And the next letter that came, Rishi Kumar had gone to Mumbai, and Prabhupada said, "You left that boy all alone and left him a $15,000 debt to the book fund, and you took $2,000 with you." He said, "You give me whatever money you have." So he gave Prabhupada 700, and Prabhupada sent me a receipt of 700 towards my book bill. I was happy about that. And Krishna helped me, because the rand was worth $1.20. It now became $1.50. So I'm instantly making 25% more money without changing the price. So I was able to sell $20,000 worth of books. Now I sold 15,000 and had 5,000 left that I'd paid for, so that when Pushta Krishna got there, he didn't have a debt. He had books in a car and everything to start out. But this was because Prabhupada cared. In the letter he wrote that I am praying to Krishna that you will have the strength and enthusiasm to carry out this mission. So what we have to do is be able to help each other to have the strength and enthusiasm to carry out this mission. I think they do well here in Delhi. I was just talking to a woman who's a Prabhupada disciple who was very active, but she was so badly bitten by a dog that she needed special surgery several times and is here in the hospital to have skin graft surgery. And different devotees are coming to visit to see that she is doing all right. And, you know, they don't know them. They'll say, "I don't know that person. Why am I going?" But when we see that other devotees care, and I see that when Sadhu Hridoy arranges things for me here, that devotees care. And when we know we're cared about, it makes us want to serve, and it makes us want to take that caring on to other people. It's like Jayapataka Swami says in the Bhakti Vriksha groups. People want to know how much you care before they care how much you know. Imagine if I say, "I've been a devotee over 50 years, and I know this philosophy, and you need to shut your mouth and open your ears and listen to what I say." Or if I say, "Maybe we can find something to help you out in the scripture. Let me know what is bothering you. I'll see if I can help you." We have to let people know we're on their side, that we care about them. That is the first thing that they do. In the old days, in book distribution, we used to have, they called it the Florida method. We'd make sure if people didn't buy, they lied, die, or cry, "You better buy this book," and we intimidate them. Whereas now, we get in their hearts, then we get in their minds, and then you get in their pockets. You make them feel good about it. When they feel good about it, they give a nice donation and apologize for not giving more. If you make somebody want to do something, then it is much more powerful than trying to force them to do it. So we see this going on, that this is the essence here. Prabhupada says we spend gallons of sweat and blood to make devotees. So we have to keep them. We have to let them know that we care. We have to let them know that when they're in time of need, we're there for them. Not just that we're busy with something else. You know, imagine the difference. Says, oh, I'm having a big problem. And I say, just a minute, I'm on the phone. Yes, oh. That we have to let others know we care. So, we all like the shortcuts to things in devotional service. I like to look for the shortcuts. And some people think the shortcut is that I want to be in Krishna's Lila. So what I'll do is I'll just pretend I'm a gopi, and I'll be in Krishna's Lila. By pretending I'm a gopi, I'll just show up and put the tilak on Radha and Krishna. Is this a good shortcut? No. One day I was looking in Bhagavad Gita for a shortcut. So I'm looking through the chapters. What chapter did I find it in? The 18th chapter. Here's the shortcut. Krishna says, one who teaches this science to my devotees is the most dear, and never will there be one more dear. Remember I said here, whenever it says Krishna is pleased, we listen up to what it is that pleases him. He says, one who teaches this science to my devotees is the most dear, and never will there be one more dear. And he says that for this person, devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. So this is the shortcut. We think the shortcut is to go directly to Radha and Krishna, and to bypass the spiritual masters, and to bypass the great associates. But we find that the real shortcut is to serve the devotees. Serve our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. Get the mercy of Lord Nityananda, which is here, this is being explained by Lord Nityananda, and he helps us get to Radha, Rani who helps us get to Krishna. But we have to go through the proper channel. You can't just show up at the State House in Delhi and decide you want to be the Minister of Defense because you want a high position. So we can't just get a high position without being qualified. Who's qualified here to be either the Minister of Defense or just show up in Krishna's intimate pastimes? Raise your hand. Who's qualified to do that? You find in either case you just get thrown out, right? If you show up in Delhi and decide you're the new Minister of Defense, what happens? Will they provide a place for you to stay free of charge? They will. It's called the Tihar prison. So, yes, we find that this is the key here, is that we should have the concern of other devotees. We wonder, Radhanath Swami was giving a lecture and he said, how should we deal with people? He said, well, the first premise is to think, how can I be helpful? We find this in the austerity of speech. We have to think carefully about what we say, because the austerity of speech is it should be truthful, it should be pleasing, it should be beneficial, and it should not be agitating to others, and it should be based on knowledge. So we should think of things that are truthful, but that also of some benefit to someone. Think of ways of how we can help devotees feel good about being a devotee. And I see they do that here in Delhi. It looks like the congregation takes care of each other. Yes? They even take care of people they don't know. And this is the idea. We're all supposed to be here to help each other. Lord Chaitanya even says that. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant. I shouldn't think, I'm just a humble servant. But you're the servant of a servant, so you have to serve me. We should be thinking of ways that we can help other devotees. And when we do that, this is the whole goal here, is that Krishna is pleased. We find that in Bhagavad Gita, there's so many verses where it says that one is very dear to Krishna. Like in the 13th and 14th verse of the 12th chapter, he says, one who is not envious, but a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor, who is free from false ego and equal in both happiness and distress. One who's a kind friend to all living entities. If you're not envious, it's easy to be a kind friend, and if you're a kind friend, it's easy not to be envious. So Krishna mentions in this chapter, as well as what we mentioned in the 18th chapter, of ways to become dear to Krishna. And we find so many of those are involved in being a kind friend to other living entities and trying to help them. So even though we want to go out and distribute books by the metric ton, we do it for the benefit of people. There would be other ways to make more money, wouldn't there? The books are for the people's benefit. But we need the money because it's for their, because if you convince someone to buy something, then they feel it has value. But if you just give somebody something, maybe it has value, maybe it doesn't. If they're going to buy it, they have to be convinced it's worth something. Isn't it true? So then they'll keep it. Because you just pass them out, they wonder, why is he giving me this? But if you convince them to buy it, then you've convinced them. And that's why Delhi seems to be good at sets of books. Because if you have just a little one-page pamphlet, you take that home, all your neighbors may not come to read it. You have one big book, they may read it, but a set of books, this is a serious matter. You can't neglect this, and neither can your friends or neighbors. So we don't neglect the devotional service, and we don't neglect the devotees. We make sure to keep them happy and healthy and engaged in devotional service, and let them know that if they need someone to talk to, we're there for them. That's why it's not good to spread rumors. We don't want someone to feel like they can't come and talk to us. If they come and talk to you yesterday, and today it is all over Facebook, they won't feel like revealing their mind. And for some people, if they don't get to reveal their mind, what they don't reveal may actually kill them. So we have to let people know that they can reveal their mind to us in confidence. And we don't share things that shouldn't be shared. And we share the things that should be shared, particularly helping each other to be happy, healthy, and engaged in devotional service. Any questions, comments, or corrections? Prabhu Vishnu, you have something to add to this? Did I make any mistakes in there? Yes, take the microphone.
Thank you, Sruti Prabhu, for a very nice class. I don't have anything to add. Maybe devotees will have some questions.
It's all said it, so we'll set out to help other people, yes?
Yes.
And that pleases Krishna.
Definitely.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Vaishnav Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I had this question. Like while preaching, we have to serve the devotees and we have to take care of them. When we go out on the streets to preach and tell other people to buy the books, we tell them to take it. But sometimes, like the previous thing, I have actually two questions. First is regarding the meat eating, and second is like preaching. First question is that when, just like you gave your example, how you left eating meat, but when I was telling a person, she said she will eat meat because she likes it, and she will not come to this Krishna conscious movement because it's like restricting her from doing such things. She likes eating meat, and I, just like you gave the example,
She is going to distribute books, or she is someone that takes books?
No, she's just the devotee's daughter. I was talking to her. She said she hates ISKCON's philosophy. So I couldn't convince her to stop.
Well,
I didn't restricted her that you shouldn't eat meat, but I told her it's not that, you should come. And still I don't understand how I can talk to her more.
Well, that's like I was saying, Prabhupada said that we go in like a needle and out like a plow. We have to get them to come up with a point that they agree with. You find something that they agree with, and then you elaborate on that point. And when somebody makes a point of their own, it's easier to convince them. I did this, I walked up in 1972 to the yoga pit in Mayapur. And one of Prabhupada's godbrothers says to me, he said, "So how are Jayapataka Swami and Ajujananda Swami?" And then he laughs. He said, "See, I know your devotees, all of them." They have more there now, I think, don't they? More than 2? So he said he knew them all. Then he said, "You know, your Swamiji, meaning Prabhupada, should not have gone to the West without the permission of the Smat." So I'm thinking, now I have to defend Prabhupada, but not offend his godbrother. So what I need to find is a point. Have him come up with a point that answers the question. So as an innocent child, I says, "Really? Who started this Mat?" Like I have no idea. He says, "My spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada." I said, "Oh, so he and the Mat are non-different?" He says, "Yes, but why?" Because now he sees he's walked himself into a trap, right? I says, "Because if he and the Mat are non-different, and he asked my spiritual master to go to the West, then he already has the permission." I said, "Thank you so much for helping me clear this up." And he just went jai. He's the one that made the point that Bhaktisiddhanta is non-different. He can't now decide to argue against his own point. I let him make the point. So it's better to get them to accept something and be happy with that little bit. And sometimes, just like with books, we find that the expert ones, they kind of do it like advertising. First they get someone's attention, and then when you get their attention, you try to create interest. And then from the interest, desire, and then they ask for money or the action. But if you can't get someone's attention, then it's better just to go to the next person. So sometimes it's better not to spend so much time trying to convince that person, but just be a friend to them and try to give other people the opportunity, because there's many people who are ready to take. If someone says, "I want to buy books," you can't say, "Hey, I'm forcing this other person." You see that with the good distributors, when they can't get someone's attention, they go to someone else. They don't try to force the issue. If you can't get to the first step with someone, then you don't go to the next one. Especially if you're selling several books. If you haven't got their interest and attention, you're not going to get the kind of money. You're not going to chase them and say, "Give me a couple thousand rand," or rupees. It's not going to work. So sometimes with people, you kind of have to just appreciate them and go on to another one. Not spend so much time just on one person. Any other question? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Venerable Prabhuji, for this enlightening lecture. My question is that it's more than 55 years you are in this ISKCON movement.
53.
53, yes. So what inspired you to be so much enthusiastic even in this age also?
Well, because we get something out of the chanting. Now that I'm older, I spend a lot of time chanting rounds, especially in Vrindavan. I'd wake up at 1. Today I slept until 2 because I gave a class in the evening over by the museum. There's so many spots there. Someone has to take me there because I could never find them. I knew that when they were building this temple. Oh, this is going to be a place you can get lost in, right? So we just have to continue on. If we connect with Krishna, Krishna is a reservoir of pleasure. We don't connect with it. You know, people don't believe in things that they don't have experience with. I saw this in J.P. Morgan, the investor, was working with Thomas Edison on 2 new inventions. And his father told him he was a stupid child and no one would use them. You know what they were? Electric wiring and light bulbs. But because they hadn't seen them, of course it can't exist. Just like in Vrindavan, I was in Vrindavan in the 70s. And I told some of the village boys that America, we have a road called a freeway, and you drive 100 kilometers an hour, and no bicycles and no cows. And he yelled for his friend. He said, "Listen to this story. that's American made up. Now, of course, you have the Jamuna Expressway and roads like this, but at the time they didn't have it. So if I haven't seen it, it must not exist, right? Prabhupada had the vision to see things in the future. Someone asked me, what did Prabhupada mean when he wrote this? He wrote that for preaching we can use forms of communication like the television, the telephone, the radio, and even future forms of communication that come out. And usually people don't conceive of new things coming out. They figure what we have is what we have. But of course now we have internet and there may be other things. But Prabhupada had the vision to see these. So Krishna is there to be experienced, but then if we don't experience it, just like if you tried to show a cell phone to someone 100 years ago, they would think you are making up some lie, right? They say that in the past ages that were more advanced, they were saying that one person used to talk to other people in a mirror. Do you ever talk to people in a mirror? Do you? I do. See here? To someone who hasn't seen this before, what is it? It's a mirror, isn't it? So they say, no, there's people on the other end. No, there can't be people inside there. Right? Can't be. Now people just do it regularly. But if you tried to tell someone about 100 years ago, they would think it didn't exist. So if we approach Krishna, he reciprocates with us. And there are so many better devotees than me. But there's always somebody new that needs help too, right? There's always somebody who can help us, and there's always someone we can help. But we actually get more mercy out of helping others. Prabhupada was pleased more when we'd go somewhere to try to preach than to just think, well, I'll just stay and associate with people. People that go and say, well, I just want to associate with my guru. I don't want to go preach anywhere. They get more mercy. We can still come back and associate. But especially now you go in Sankirtan teams and they don't expect you to collect huge amounts of money or you don't come home. One person used to tell them, pick it to the bone or don't come home. And they get dropped off by themselves somewhere and have to collect a huge amount if they didn't collect it. Some people just don't come home then. So we encourage people more. That should be how we can encourage people. And if we can't encourage some people, then there's always others, especially in books. If you chase someone who's not a good candidate. I asked one devotee in America how he did well at books. He said, I spend 90% of the time with the 10% who are most likely to buy. So you find if you're just letting people go not interested and you find someone and you spend more time with them and they buy a set, that's a better use of your time than trying to force people who don't want it. So, Hare Krishna.
Hare
More?
Krishna. One more question.
Yes.
Especially when we go out for book distribution, and we have to spend little bit long time, around 4 or 5 hours. So in between, sometimes just we get kind of discouragement, especially when books doesn't go out. So that time, how to again have enthusiasm? So sometimes we just lose the enthusiasm and just lose our
because it's not
focus.
It's not all about us. It's about us trying to connect with people. And so we take it in the steps. First, we try to connect with people. Then we explain to them what we're doing. Explain to them about it. And then you ask them for it. But you start with the steps of just trying to connect with people. And don't think we're going to force the issue. We have to be a conduit. We have to let people know we have something that's valuable for them. I wanted you to see something valuable. See, you don't mention the price first. You get interested. I wanted you to see something valuable. I've been reading this book. And you get them interested in it. And then you say people are giving donations. You don't say, give some money, take this. You don't start with that. And sometimes, and there's always someone doing better, yes? Some people go out in the street and they sell sets. They must be able to convince people that they really need this. But you have to believe that yourself. And you just do the best you can. If we don't sell to every single person, we don't give up. Yes, sometimes they do, sometimes it goes nicely, other times they just can't get people interested. So the fact that we tried, right? Can't be like what is the children's story? How does it start out? Egg Deen, Egg Burki, Lomari, Bagi Chake under. And so the Lomari couldn't get the Angurs. So he says, well, if I can't get them, they must not be any good anyway. He's thinking, oh, these must be good. I have to, Kochi's Karna, right? So that's what we have to do. We just try to please Krishna and try to connect people with it. Tell him at the beginning, I wanted you to show you something here. So I just wanted you to see it first. Start with that. Don't say, I want you to buy this. The other thing that's good too is if you offer people the choice, like you show them the whole set of Bhagavatams, you say, do you want the whole set of Bhagavatams or just the first canto? You give them the choice, right? Do you want both sets, the Caitanya-caritāmṛta or the Bhagavatam, or you just want one of the two? And then you say nothing. So first you create some interest and just get people to stop and look at them. And sometimes people are busy, they don't stop, but we just have to try our best. All right, Hare Krishna.